good, man. It is a long time no see. I haven't streamed on YouTube in a hot minute. Um, Forgive the voice if you've not been following along. My voice is bad. I yelled the other day, not too long ago. I was just messing around with my wife, and dude, it's recovering. It's slow. It's coming along. I don't really know what the issue is, but I'm gonna try my best. You probably saw the title, Ryan Garcia implodes over the Bohemian Grove issue. If you've not seen any of that, dude, you are in for a ride. I got a little clip we can listen into. He had a space with Andrew Tate, which he discussed these things. I mean, he had claims where he was said that he was forced to watch kids have things happen to them that nobody would desire. And with beyond that, there's also a really funny candidate who is vying to be the Republican nominee, Republican governor nominee for a state election. And then beyond that, too, there is a guy who I've recently followed on X. He calls himself a truth seeker, but this is more directed towards the DEW, direct energy weapons stuff. And if you've not been following along with the Maui story, as well as, what's been happening in Texas with people painting their roofs a certain color, blue. Well, then, let me repeat that because you're going to be in for a ride. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and switch it over now. So I got it pulled up on screen. What is up, Adrian? Hey, how you doing? I have this little clip here from the space that occurred between Andrew Tate and Ryan Garcia. I'm about to go ahead and mute my mic, and then we're going to go ahead and listen to this.
Hey, bro. All right, talk to us.
Bro, I don't give a fuck, bro. They held me down and they made me watch little kids get raped. I don't give a fuck anymore.
Where?
Bro, they fucking took me to the fucking woods, bro, and they fucking tied. I'm not fucking joking, bro. I have fucking proof, bro. I don't give a fuck. Bro, I fucking will show you every fucking video you could ever fucking believe. Bohemian Grove is real. They fucking tied me down and they made me fucking watch, dog. I absolutely don't give a fuck anymore.
The one thing I will say is he's been extremely arrogant in all of his messaging. I'm not the biggest fan of Ryan Garcia, but I'll let that be said right now. And I had conversations off air with Donnie, my co-host for Offensively Accurate. The way he's going about it is just so obnoxious. And it's making it really hard to kind of stretch this idea to the average person who already kind of sits there and goes dude, no, I that's fake. You're a conspiracy theorist, you're this and that. But I'll let this continue.
Yes, I fucking lost it. They're raping little kids.
He doesn't want to take us all, so let's go. Come on, Ryan. He doesn't want to take us.
Come on, fuck this guy. Bro, fuck this dude, dude.
Who?
Bro,
You do know
you know the higher elites, bro. You already know who they are, bro.
No, you know what?
You know the path
Andrew,
you're going down is dangerous, my friend. That's
I
what
don't
I'm
give
worried
a
about.
fuck. I don't give a fuck. They can't touch me. I'm a god.
Well, that's the first point of contention because I care about you a lot, and I can assure you from my own personal experience that they can touch you, which is the
Bro,
worst part
no,
about
they
it.
can't, bro. All right, so come touch me, you fucking bitch.
You have proof of these things. You have proof of this on your phone?
Yes, of course I do.
Can you imagine if you're in a room with, Andrew Tate and all these people, and Andrew Tate is the mild guy in this conversation, he's the one who's coming off, less intense, less arrogant, more understanding, more mild. Never thought I would have seen the day.
The fuck you talking about? Of course, if Alex could get a fucking video from the Bohemian Grove, of course I could.
Well, I have to be careful what I say because I'm in the middle of a judicial process right now.
You want me to get you out of it? I can help you.
Bro, my door gets kicked in if I say what I'm thinking.
Okay, well, I can help you get out of it if you want. I know people.
Hey, bro.
So that was just a little 2-minute clip. The space, I believe, was recorded, so it still is up there. Yeah, you can see it on the top left. It was being recorded. So, anybody who wants to go listen to that full thing, Ryan Garcia did follow it up with another one. Let me go back. I believe the post who made it go viral was Censored Man. Let me actually just do this. He's been essentially imploding almost entirely. I mean, if we just go back to his actual page here, I say imploding because like, and again, let me actually reset this and pull this back some. I do think that what the happenings of Bohemian Grove is very real. I believe the sex trafficking that goes on behind the scenes, the changing of hands, all of the sexual depravity that has been getting whispered at since the Epstein case, and now you have the P Diddy case occurring now. I mean, like, come on, you're not fooling anybody anymore. So what I will say is like I will no longer give the benefit of the doubt to these big corporations, these big elite people, these huge celebrities. With that being said, he's taken this a terrible way about it. But I said to Donnie, like, the elites need to make me believe it. Like, make me believe that this isn't real. Like, make me believe that this kid's just joking. Because I'm not putting the burden of proof on him anymore. Like, there's too much of this stuff happening where it's like, no. Like, I want hard proof that this kid's completely lying, because otherwise, like, I'm going to kind of loosely believe what he's saying, because of all of the other instances lead me to that conclusion. So, going back to this, or forgive me, this is the wrong one. There we go. If you see him on screen, these are his tweets here. I want to actually go to his legitimate profile. This is his profile. And if I can find the one here, he had said where he's done talking about this until April 20th. So he's gone back and forth saying that he's got proof, but he won't drop it. He's been highlighting, the Cat Williams and the Ice Cube, when Cat Williams had that explosive interview with Club Shay Shay with Shannon Sharp. And, and he's even talking about, like, he'll take drug tests, live on air. That's what this video is. He's sitting there and he's questioning him. He's like, okay, you don't have to do this, right? Da-da-da. And then he's got his own recording. It's only 25 minutes long. Again, he doesn't say anything, but his entire account has just been entirely around this one. Like, he's saying, they auction off kids. I'm not the crazy one. It's the people that know what I'm saying but are silent. Those are the cowards and lazy ones. Sounding the trumpets. Those who had an ear understand. One of them were sounded off in 2021 early. So about an earthquake. And he's saying, like, what do you think I'm losing and gaining followers at a rate? And it is okay. You're right. You got it. Yeah. You're saying he sounds unhinged but sincere, or unhinged but sincere. Yeah. That's where I'm at. Where it's like, I kind of am leading to believing this kid. I don't know much about him besides his antics on social media, where he's essentially just been, the typical, prototypical, like, fighter where you're very boastful. And that's part of the game. Like, I get that. But he's got, and if you go into the spaces, you'll see, I think even Dom Lucre had went into the space with him, this 25-minute one that I have up on here on screen. And I have a bookmark too, but you can go and find all of this. They recorded it and kept it up. I believe the Tate, I think it was literally called Tate X Ryan. That space should be, yeah, and that space is still here. Almost had 1 million people join into it. That one's even shorter. It's like 18 minutes long. That's their full discussion. I think that was the first moment he had kind of came forward with this. And it's just, it's one of those things where it's crazy, but I think the way he goes about it just makes people go, I can't buy it. It makes it hard to buy it. And so with that being said, I hope he's okay. I hope nothing happens to him. I mean, dude, at this point, like, if Ryan Garcia, plane crashes, or Ryan Garcia, car accident, or like, I mean, dude, people are just gonna be like, okay, it's an automatic, like, instant, like, okay, everything he said was true, and everything he said will be vindicated through that measure of just people believing that he was unalived by some nefarious means. So I guess, and I'm sure more will come out about this, it might come vice versa. It may be, in a couple of days, you're going to have somebody come out and be like, no, he's entirely lying and this is why. And then, put out a bunch of evidence to show, like, he never went to Bohemian Grove, or he was in these places when these things happened, yada, 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 which I doubt will happen. Or more and more and more stuff comes out with this, people involved with him, people who are on his team who also don't want to say, who also don't want to be quiet. It could happen both of ways. Or maybe it is just like this big spin up to make him sell his fight better, which I think most people who are already left leaning and are not inclined to believe these conspiracy theories are going to go, oh, okay. Like no, this dude was just trying to sell his fight. Like, no, nothing else there. Although I don't understand how you can have those opinions when you do see all of the P. Diddy stuff with Meek Mill and Justin Bieber and all those people involved. It's just like, my gosh. Like there was just today was a video released of Birdman. Birdman was kissing P. Diddy. You know, it's like old footage or found footage. It's like, dude, like this stuff's kind of wild. So they expect the evidence to be as wild too. And so with that, I did want to direct it over to this video. This guy is actually the account I also followed. Man, forgive me. This account is who I had followed on X. So you can see that he actually has like no subscribers. You know, he's only at 16, which, you know, don't follow him for that. He's much bigger on X. Let me go to his page here. It's Josh Who Tells the Truth. I actually found him. He kind of seems a little unhinged to me a little bit, but I think he's also in the same light of like he's being very, very sincere of what he wants to talk about. So instead of watching the one on YouTube, I will watch this one that's directly here on X because he put the same video here. And now this is also in relation. We're switching over to direct energy weapons. Now, if you followed anything with the Maui story, with the fires that occurred in Hawaii, and as tragic as it was with all the lives that were lost, there was this repeated theme, which was these roofs that were painted the specific color, blue, which I think it's more than that. I think it's more than paint. I think it's a specific tarp. And we'll see a bit more of this in the video. And then there being similar instances of like where dark spots or from a map, from a light view, showing that these specific areas were much more affected, even when it doesn't make sense with the physics of how fire spreads. And so with a lot of these inconsistencies happening in both places, but those inconsistencies being similar with themselves, it's now compiling a bit more of a foundation of evidence for, for these direct energy weapons, because people aren't buying that these fires happened organically. So with that being said, this is about almost a 5-minute video. I will kind of read through it a little bit too. I'm going to turn the volume down somewhat because I think he just compiled a bunch of these little clips together that kind of tell a story, and then he's got captioning over it. I wish he would have done a bit better job with that video, but can't fault somebody who's learning.
Scanning the ground with that green laser. Welcome back. I'm Chris Safadi.
And I'm Lois Tomey. So what does this plane, what is it doing? A Wake News anchor Annette Montgomery joins us in the studio. And Annette, what did you learn?
Well, Chris and Lois, I learned who it's not after reaching out to everyone from the city of Cape Coral to the county to the Florida Division of Emergency Management to the South Florida Water District and Port Authority. Now, these low-flying planes with green lasers does not belong to them. One neighbor got so fed up, she purchased a flight radar to help narrow down the search for the owner.
Midnight. I was actually in my car. I was just getting home, and I saw it going back and forth with a laser beam, and it scanned over me multiple times, and it was just moving.
I was muted. I apologize.
The whole area, every square footage, basically, going just forth.
That low-flying plane was in Casey Sutton's neighborhood for hours Sunday night. Philip Bertolio saw it the same day, but a few hours earlier while watching the Super Bowl game.
I was muted. I apologize. No, don't feel too bad. I apologize, guys. I was muted. I'm a little retarded. I'm not using my headphones, so I'm trying to like go back and forth from the mic and not catch the echo on that. But all I was saying was like, when you see that, dude, like that's a bad doorbell ring camera picking up like that quality of energy. Yeah, boomer moment in progress. Yeah, you ain't lying, dude. I'm halfway there. I was just saying like I would be panicked, right? Like this is incredible. I mean, I'll just hold it on this one too. Like you know, these Ring cameras aren't meant to be like getting like, you know, 1080p 4K quality type thing at all. And then for it to pick up something like this, it's like, dude, like, can you imagine seeing it in person?
But a few hours earlier, while watching the Super Bowl game,
because a lot of, if you fly over these areas.
Okay, so that was just the end clip of this. What I know he's about to say here, because I saw this clip earlier, it's like a 19-second clip of Joe Biden. Joe Biden says the quiet part out loud, and you're going to know exactly why, because this guy kind of replaced the phrase like a few times over. So go ahead and listen to this.
That are burned to the ground. You'll see in the midst of 20 homes that are just totally destroyed, one home sitting there because it had the right roof on it. One home sitting there because it had the right roof on it.
One home sitting there because it had the right roof on it. One home sitting there because it had the right roof on it.
And anyway, since I took office, FEMA's provided Texas alone.
Because it didn't have the right roof on it. And he's like, well, anyway.
Because it had the right roof on it. One home sitting there because it had the right roof on it.
And anyway,
I think that and anyway, it's just like, you know, it's him going straight to the my brain stopped working, dude. You know, like it's just, or maybe it's his call. He's getting the ping in his ear. It's just telling him like, it's time to stop talking. His handlers are like letting him know like, hey, come on, move it along. You can't be saying that.
Since I took office, FEMA's provided Texas alone.
Okay, this is going to be a...
Hold on, let me catch this up. I just seen these chats now. I just switched it over to live instead of top chat. I don't know why it does that. It's kind of bummy. Let's see, you said go blue. Oh, come on. I am a fan of OSU. Do I have any OSU gear in here? I think I do. I am a fan of OSU. I'm from Ohio State. I would panic too. The government has too much power and we let it happen, unfortunately. And it's not even the fact that like we let it happen, Adrian. It's more the fact that it's like, it's so hidden. It's so behind the curtain that like, I don't even expect people to have like to be seeing this or understanding that it's happening. You know, it's just like, and then but I guess when it's something like this apparent, it's like, how do you deny these things? And I see you in Gilbert. Hope you're doing well, bro. Cheers from Texas. Hey, I appreciate you, bro. I see your comments all the time. I appreciate you. I hope living in Germany is doing well for you. I know most of not Eastern Europe, most of the European area is just getting hit really hard with immigration right now. I haven't seen much from Germany. Maybe you guys are doing a bit better on that end, but I know like places like, you know, the UK specifically are like really suffering from their importing the third world and becoming the third world. I appreciate your comments, guys. Thank you.
Some kind of explanation on what happened with the blue tarps and stuff. People not understanding how beams, well, the DEW weapons work, for example. And so I just got these napkins here. One I actually put, like, I should have made it more darker, but I didn't. I got one with blue on it, and I got one that's totally white.
So what he's going to explain here, this is what I meant earlier with the dark spots and the inconsistencies. So what they said with the Maui fires, and forgive me, and correct me if I'm entirely wrong, because I'm just giving you what I can remember from the news report, which is these specifically, like when you look at the map from the top down, and forgive me, I'm not an expert on this either, you would see that some of these areas would have like much more harsher burns than others. And it's indicative of like that there was, oh, paint my roof blue. Okay, I see what you're saying. Where they would see these inconsistencies, and what it would be because this energy weapon is directed, you know, its metric of burn is from the light, from what it can, the light spectrum, from what it can perceive from light. And so when they were watching these burn patterns, it was shown that areas that were darker, you know, literally darker, were burned much, much more harsher. And so what he's going to demonstrate on this is this exact principle happening between these napkins, while the one being, you know, colored a harsh blue, one being a little bit darker, and then one being bright white, with just being a regular napkin.
We're going to actually be using my mini death ray, which is like what they was using there.
And so you can see it's like, you know, just even with a simple example like that, the dude is like zinc, which is crazy because it's like, that's real, man. And obviously like he did it with like, you know, his own like, you know, baby laser, and he can set it to whatever setting he wants. So it's not so don't extrapolate that to think like this is, you know, this is exactly what it is. But this is the evidence that we have that is showing these similarities for what is consistently happening between Maui and between the Texas fires. Now, what they did around this time was the issues of what was happening in Texas went very, very uncovered. Compared to with Maui, I would imagine Maui would have also been pretty uncovered had it not been for people like Nick Sortor. Now, when it comes to Texas, I've not seen much reporting about these fires, but there has been a lot of rumblings in the underground and the grassroots that I can see a lot of the time with some of these posts. And so, with that being said, let this just be an appraisal of a premise, which is I'm only now recently getting into and understanding what these DEWs may be. I've always heard like the inklings, you know, for a while, but now that it seems like it's in full force, they're being utilized, and I'm seeing accounts that I decently respect for their other work also tapping into this. I encourage you also to be on the prowl for any kind of evidence that suggests contrary or supports this, because this is insane. You know, I mean, essentially this is allowing them to use natural disasters as a form of eliminating people they don't agree with, you know, eliminating populations they don't agree with, you know, especially if you can just like, you get the people that you don't want to harm, a blue roof. And if that's as simple as it is, and then you can just harm everyone else around that, and it'd be something, you know, so simple that people would be like, there's no way it's just the roof color. Well, then, yeah, you can probably get away with, you know, lighting states on fire for some time before people are going to start to put the evidence together.
Everything was burned beyond recognition except any object that was the color blue.
Operation Blue Roof and the FEMA Self-Help Program, while similar, use two different materials to provide temporary protection for the roofs of residential structures damaged during severe weather. The shooting for Operation Blue Roof.
And this is what I meant by like, I don't even think it's just the color blue. I've seen this a few times where like, it's like this kind of tarp material that gets strapped over the house. So I don't really think it might just be the specific color blue. It might be that there's some kind of like reflective material on these tarps. Because then again, you know, why is FEMA running some program to like put specific roofing on people's houses? Like, what? I am like, forgive me, but I'm not too, you know, familiar with the environmental or weather of the area. But I wouldn't imagine Hawaii is a place that deals with like rain damage. I imagine it's much more like flooding. So like, I think there would be much more foundational FEMA work that would go into that versus like protecting the roofs. And again, maybe I'm just retarded and I'm completely wrong on that. But again, it's very eerie, right? Like when these things all kind of line up. And so you got to notice patterns when you can.
Roof are installed by a contractor, overseen by the Corps of Engineers according to certain specifications. To sign up for the program, you can call 888-ROOF-BLUE. You can go to blueroof.us.
All right, well, you heard him. If you want a blue roof, go to blueroof.ef or whatever that is. And you're saying sockets. Let me make this chat bigger, actually. I made it a little bit shorter or smaller so I could see the video better. So we could all see the video better. We've been developing DEWs for decades. I don't doubt that. You know, this goes to the fact of like, you know, when the public sees it, my mind goes to like, okay, well, the military is like, you know, 20, 25, 30 years ahead, maybe even more than that. Then with that being said, it's like, okay, well, man, then like, if this is what we're now seeing, it's like, I could only imagine exactly what you're saying is like, yeah, dude, they're attaching it to some kind of satellite, you know, way up north, and then they're beaming down and attacking people. So again, it's just scary stuff, but it's something to pay attention to. And the crazy thing with this is like, you got to think, man, like there's no way, because if you see those videos, man, of the Maui fire, like, and how intense it was burning, it just doesn't make sense that there was all of these blue objects intermittent amongst all of these other different things that were just completely entirely untouched. Because it just doesn't match up with what actually occurs with the physics of fire, at least from my understanding. See, it's a suck saying half of Maui's a rainforest, so rain damage is a problem out there. Okay, so I am wrong on that then. I wasn't sure. I would imagine though, obviously because it's an island, it's, you know, waterfall or whether it's flooding. I accept the correction. I could be entirely wrong on that. So then it makes more sense why then they use the roofing FEMA program, because it's something that they know people will buy into and they're like, oh yeah, I'll take advantage of this. And maybe it was a way to actually, you know, get the pool, everybody who was the good ones in a pool of applicants, and maybe all the regular people they denied, while then, you know, approving those who they were like, yes, we would like this person to survive these fires we're about to set on Hawaii. Terrifying stuff, dude.
What kind of shirt survives a fire like that, I wonder? A shirt that says, Sister Revolution. Hard to believe, huh? The whole building goes down. The whole street goes down, and then these shirts survive somehow. The Sister Revolution.
Again, you also got to take this with the fact of like the dude could have grabbed the dirty shirt and throw it in there before he recorded the video, just to kind of add to it, you know, especially because there was like, you know, those viral moments where people are like, what would you say? They try to ride the coattails of these viral moments. And so people might be in that area who would just want to like, you know, get a viral video and get some clout from it. They could go and, you know, crumble up some kind of t-shirt like that and then pull it out and be like, oh my gosh, look at this. I mean, but again, this goes back to the Ryan Garcia issue where I'm like, no. Like the elites get no benefit of the doubt from me. Like, make me believe that this isn't real. Otherwise, I'm entirely of the belief that the government is trying to actively kill me in every ubiquitous way that they can. You know, whatever method or means that they can find that will prevent the public ire from being turned upon them. I believe that for sure. So again, make me disbelieve it, elites, because there's no reason I would ever give these, you know, this administration for one entirely. But again, the past 20 to 30 years of our government doing oppressive garbage nonstop. No way, dude. You do not get the benefit of the doubt from me.
A lot of them, actually. It's crazy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to auction these shirts off.
There was something blue they didn't want to burn.
Blue car did burn in flames. Same as the blue umbrella.
Laser weapons can be programmed for different wavelengths.
I mean, that essentially wraps this portion up for the DEWs, but like, I mean, what else do you need? I mean, you got like 40 different people who can come in and just straight up show you like, yeah, I mean, you can do this with a laser. It's pretty easy. I did it in my garage. It's like, dude, they're going to have it to like some, you know, heavy grade where they're going to be like, okay, like people are thinking like, you know, something simple is like, we're going to have this laser only affect black people, or we're going to have this laser only affect white people. Dude, they probably going to have the specifications so down to it, they're going to be like, actually, we only want to affect North Korean men under the age of 24. Zzz, gone. And that's crazy, dude. But again, we do live in this dystopian society, man. I think people lose sight of the fact that of how technologically advanced that we are, and just people also underestimate just how docile and comfortable and convenient we all live these lives too. I think there's a lot more nefarious things that occur that we honestly give credence to. And that was the direct energy portion. So instead of being sad entirely for the portion of this, I'm past the 30-minute mark. I can't stream for that much longer. I actually got to get ready to go back to work. There was another bit that I wanted to pull up, which was, this is going to be funny. It's going to be funny. It's going to go in a different direction than what we just were in. It's not going to be as terrifying, which is, I found this political ad from Vincent James. And I think it's hilarious.
Holocaust.
Or not, I guess not a political ad, I should say. This is Mark Robinson. He's the Republican nominee for governor of North Carolina in 2024. And he has been dubbed the Hitler quoting candidate. And he just like, you're just going to hear him rattle off a couple quick bits of his beliefs. And it's just funny. I think it's awesome. Like, and I agree with this dude. Like, I'm all in for this guy. Like, just put in anybody besides who's currently in there, dude. Like, it's just clown world. Let's go ahead and listen to this, man. Let me go ahead and I'll shrink this out again some.
When you have to say the Holocaust was real and Hitler was evil, both, in a primary ad, you know that this is not a normal primary year. But Mark Robinson is not a normal primary winner. He will be the Republican nominee for governor in North Carolina. He has, in fact, called the Holocaust hogwash. He says Beyonce is satanic. He says the moon landing in 1969 may have been fake. He says the civil rights movement in the 1960s was, quote, crap, and that Martin Luther King was a communist. He also says there is a secret ruling cabal that is part reptile, meaning part human, part reptile. When you have to say the...
I mean, dude, you give me all that, bro. Like, you got my vote, man. Like I'm all in for this guy, dude. He's just off the hinges, I guess, right? No, I guess he's a very, very right-wing candidate. He's very far right wing, and it's very cool because he has all those positions as a black man, which is not typical for a black man to hold that position, especially, you know, giving all of their Democratic and liberal loyalty for the past, like, you know, decade or so. I just thought it was hilarious. If you learn more about him too, it's his name's Mark Robinson. And so I guarantee he will be. He is going to be the nominee. They were showing that clip here. And if you just search him up, yeah, right, can I vote for this thing? Yeah. If you just look it up, you can just see the left is just like, the left is either losing it or you're watching MAGA rally behind him. And it's cool because this might be one of the first candidates I've seen who could possibly be just as polarizing with their words and their ideals as what I can imagine Trump to be, especially given the fact that he is black. You don't expect that, right? It's like way better than DeWine, 100%. I'm glad that you say that. You know, I'm honestly really kind of hoping that we can get Vivek to kind of come back and take governorship of Ohio, especially, you know, while he's going to be waiting in line behind Trump. But again, that's also by proxy if he's not picked to be VP and he doesn't have other priorities, I should say. But he has been pretty forthcoming a few other times by saying, you know, if he didn't get what he wanted to do in Washington, D.C., he would look at coming to, you know, back to Akron, you know, to take care of business. I would love if he would be able to take the reins from DeWine. DeWine is just like, he literally is uniparty. He is the definition of everything that is bad with the establishment politics, the compromising, just like the fact that, you know, he vetoed the bill just not too long ago. He vetoed the bill that was, you know, going to protect kids from. He vetoed the bill that was going to protect kids from the transgender surgery, only for that to get sent and bounce right back because they had a majority in the Senate, so they pushed it through against him anyways. So, like, no, like, when anyone shows you in those positions, those singular high authority executive positions, and they show you, like, you know, it's actually not about what my party or my constituents want. It's more about how I feel. It's like, okay, dude, like, out. Like, I'm like, sorry, like, if you can't vote for the interest of the people who put you in this position, okay, then leave. Like, there's no purpose for you being here. You know, no one voted you in because they wanted you to have, like, go off on a tangent and do whatever you wanted to do on your own. Like, people voted you in, bro, because they wanted you to, like, to actually represent their actual real values. Like, and you're right, like, he is a rhino. Like, he literally definitely is a rhino. With that being said, I have to keep it short today. A few things I wanted to say before I sign off. If you like this video, make sure you like the video, obviously. Share it if you want to. But make sure you follow me on YouTube, follow me on X. I'm going to be probably going back and forth. I've been mainly streaming on X. If you want to catch me live, I'll be probably streaming on X under Atlas Thugged. And then outside of that, I'll probably come back to YouTube to kind of split everything up. Episode number 11 between me and Donnie did release. I posted that around 10 a.m. And then here at 2 p.m., the episode I did with Nick will also be uploading. So I'll have 2 episodes of the podcast dropping today. And then I'm also available on Spotify. So, follow me in all of those places if you would like to. I would appreciate that very much. And thank you for everybody for tuning in. This is a blast. This is actually like a good sign to show me like I should come back to YouTube and start streaming a bit more. The only reason I haven't is because I want to avoid my channel getting nuked, from orbit, Alpha Fear. Said the wine looks like a discount Merrick Garland. That's actually pretty accurate. I've never heard that before. That's very accurate. No, I appreciate that. Thank you for the humor. And with all that being said, please stay safe. Pay attention. Vigilance is the price of freedom. You must stay vigilant if you wish to retain your freedom. God bless. Christ is King. We will make things right. Thank you all for coming in. I appreciate it. Have a nice day. Take care.